My very first sport run, I didn't have anything on. My first kilometer that I did, it was on barefoot. I think difficulties, it's more on how does the body respond, just like when you are on the road. So with me, I run the same. If you see my posture on the road, the same, because then you don't want to confuse the body. There's a lot of people that have joined, and quite interestingly, we thank the world of technology to say those who are joining, mostly they join from various places. But I have two who started by weight loss and they've completed the Comrades Marathon already. Two of them.
They
They
started
never
on sport
ran
run?
before.
Yeah.
They just started with sport running, with certain races that I do on the road, training on the spot. And when I go out there, I just enjoy them. No fight, no pain, nothing. So I will really recommend many people to put more time on the sport because the recovery is quicker.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings.
Welcome to this episode of the Runners Podcast with myself, Rotokholo. If you're new to our channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you. Please continue supporting our channel. And today we have a special guest. His name is Kenny. He is popularly known for what he does, which is sport running. And we are going to unpack sport running, how it started up to where he is, and then how sport running can benefit you, because I think we need a variety as runners to spice up our running. And without further waste of time, I welcome Ndate Kenny.
Thanks, Roto, and all the viewers. What a warm introduction. And for those who don't know me in full, my name is Kenneth Ramaano, and popularly known as a founder of Sport Run.
I know a little bit of Venda. Varenda yandu marunga zindevede.
Nda. Marunga Zindebelao. Yeah, that's when we are placing the chiefs.
Yeah, I know. You're my chief, by the way. But anyway, tell us about sport running. When did you start doing sport running and why?
Okay. To give you a brief history about where sport running started, this was in 2020 during the COVID, within that first 21 days of COVID, when we were not allowed to run on the streets. And I just found myself lingering, not knowing what to do. And people were throwing different challenges, running around the houses. And I couldn't manage to run around the houses. I was getting bored, and also I was mindful of not getting injured. And then I just decided to do some exercises in my bathroom. And as I was running, in my mind, I was like, but look, I'm not allowed to go to the gym at work. We have treadmills. How does the treadmill works? Because we're not moving from one point to another, but at the same time, you are able to see your watch counting and all those sort of things. So that's when I started my watch and started running on one spot, and I could see it counting. And then I was like, okay, I did my first kilometer. That took me about 9 minutes, of which even when I'm walking, sometimes I don't walk that long. So it was painful. But then I just said to myself, I will keep doing this until I can achieve my road running pace on the spot.
So you started in your bathroom. Was this okay? And the idea came from the treadmill. So did you have your running shoes on, or you just tried it with anything?
My very first sport run, I didn't have anything on. My first kilometer that I did, it was on barefoot. And then I started to realize that I was getting some pains that I usually don't get when I'm running on the road. So that's when I started doing it, wearing running shoes, and I could see the difference, and I could achieve now the paces that I could put on the road. So that's what made me say, let's just keep doing this.
For interest's sake, on your watch, do you do indoor run or outdoor run? Because, when you're running on a treadmill, you usually do indoor run, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
And then with sport run, what do you do?
Look, so with sport run, I'll go back to where it started. I just started the watch. Then maybe that 9 minutes was because of it. I started it on a road running mode, whereby the GPS couldn't sense me moving. Hence, it took so long. But to answer your question, yes, you either put your watch on indoor or treadmill because those functions disabled the GPS.
Nice one. And you started your sport running in during the lockdown. What is the longest distance that you covered in the lockdown on your sport runs?
Okay. Uh, the longest distance I covered, my very first longest, because what I did was like, okay, now I can do 5 kilometers. Now I can do 10 kilometers. Then we were all awaiting the news if the Big C will happen. And then when they cancelled it, I was like, okay, I will put a challenge to myself to run the Big C on the spot, which I said it will be 90 kilometers. And on the Big C date, I managed to run the whole distance on the spot. So that was 90 kilometers.
Yeah, runners and runners are crazy people. So this morning, ne, I went to do a trek. Ne?
Yes.
I joined another team. They are on in Tembisa. They are on a camp,
Yes.
and it was I couldn't do like when you do a trek,
Yes.
you just run around the trek, and I was so frustrated. I only did 4 kilometers speed, and then after that, I was trying to do a cool down. I only managed the kilometer because I was so impatient. So how did you manage to adjust your mind to sport running?
I think how I manage is having ran on the road before helps me to mimic certain terrains that I've ran before. For example, I know if I'm running a Big C, like it or not, you'll have to move from Durban to Pietermaritzburg, vice versa. And with me, I know certain spots within the route that when you reach here, the body will be like this. When you reach here, you will recover. So usually when I'm doing my sport running, especially the longer distances that I will be on the spot, I just imagine any route that I've ever ran before, and I look at the time. The time helps me to be so patient, because when you look at the longest I've ever run for the comrades, it was like 11:59, which I said I want to run that time. So until the body reaches that time, it never get tired, it never get distracted. So I get you to say you did the trek and you felt like
I was frustrated.
yeah, but that's what I find with many road runners. They to them a distance is measured by moving from one point to another. I remember we once had a huge debate about sport run and how is that measuring the distance with some of the runners on the road. And I think where we all now come to agreement, it was after we said, but you run on the treadmill, how does it measure? Because you are standing on one place. That's when we sort of come to an agreement that, okay, you can achieve distance from the sport, because many people still today, there are some who feels like, no, sport running is nothing. But I say, come try 10 minutes. It feels like an hour to many people. So yeah, it's just a matter of focus, concentration, and knowing what you want to achieve.
So you achieved during the lockdown, you did a sport run, you did comrades on a sport run.
Yes.
And then from there, what other challenges have you challenged yourself with on the sport run?
Okay, so that was in June. July, the icons need to happen. So they too had to cancel. And Vulituba called me to say, hey, can you do 103 on the spot? And I was like, okay, well, I'm up for a challenge. Having ran it before on the road, let me feel how it feels like to do it on the spot. So that was in July. And I did the 103, which it was televised. Okay, not televised, it was on YouTube. And I then met a whole lot of people, like a group, Sports for Ubuntu in the UK. We started
Oh, nice.
so
Small world then.
that's when we started to meet, and then we started having different initiatives with them as well. But then I decided in September the same year that I want to do the longest. I will call it a heritage sport run. So with me, it has to be 200 kilometer. I'm giving myself uh, whatever time that I can run it. I think I said I want to complete it in 48 hours. Luckily, I completed it in 40 hours. But I can tell you, I felt all the pains in the world. So yeah, the longest is 200 kilometers on the spot.
And what are some of the challenges that you have you've overcome with sport running? Because I think as you run the sport run, you would contrast it with the road running that you are accustomed to.
Yeah.
So please share some of the difficulties or some of the learnings that comes with sport running.
I think difficulties. It's more on how does the body respond, just like when you are on the road. But one thing I've tend to learn is how to prepare for each run that I do. So running on the road, I used to have a lot of injuries. I used to suffer a lot of injuries. I will run a marathon, come back with injuries and all that. Something which ever since I started sport run, I've never suffered any injury. I have ran comrades, I've ran some marathons to qualify, no cramps, nothing. Something which previously it was like a norm. Running on the road, I will get injured and all that. So what I tend to learn through sport running, it's not harsh on the body. Like when we are running on the road, roads are made for cars, so we find ourselves competing with the cars, the joints and all that. And I've also came to learn a good running posture from the sport than when I was on the road, so I don't put too much impact on my joints. That's why many people even think that I do weightlifting and all that, which is something that I haven't touched ever since COVID. But when you look at me, you will think that I do a whole lot of exercises at the gym. I only lift my body.
Interesting. Okay, on your big C that you did sport run on, what was your time?
Okay, the big C, which was this year, I think that was around 9 hours something.
And then the 2020?
2020, 2020, I did it in 12 hours 45. That was hard. Yeah, I
And then
remember.
the 103?
The 103, it was around 15 hours.
And then you said the 200 was 40 hours.
Yeah.
Shoo. Yeah, no. If they say nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it.
No,
yeah.
that's true.
And I think you're a living testament.
Yeah, and I mean, something interesting that happened in 2022, I approached Sport Medical Service to see if we can do a study on sport run. And they agreed to it. There was a full team comprising of different companies, people who have been in the sports world, running world, and they were some of them were skeptical to take the study, and Sport Medical Services were like, okay, let's give it a try. And then we started working on it. They did some tests on my body and all that to see if there's any improvements that are happening throughout. And I can tell you now that so far we haven't found anything negative with regards to running on the spot. We even purchased a VO2 max a mask to test the VO2 against what the watch is saying, and we have never found any discrepancies on those readings. So I can tell you that it's very good for recovery as well, and for weight loss, it's superb. I've seen a whole lot of people dropping from 150 kg to be about 70 something kg, and when you look at them, they don't gain that weight like the way they've been gaining before. So there's something magical about sport run that I must say.
Sure. And if since you are the founder of Sport Run, how many people have joined you in the Sport Run that you know of? Because
There's a lot of people that have joined, and quite interestingly, we thank the world of technology to say those who are joining, mostly they join from various places, different continents, but the results are the same for those who will be following the programs that I'm doing, because on monthly basis I do different weight loss programs. But I have seen a lot of people sending their results through having lost so much weight just by doing sport running without changing much on what they've been eating and all that. So it's very good, and not only for the body but mental as well.
are you wearing the shoes that you use for Sport Run? Are they the same shoes you use for the road running?
Yes, it's similar shoes. There's no a specific shoe designed for sport run.
And then the wear and tear. Are they wearing quicker, or the same way as they wear on the road?
Not even. I mean, I have so many shoes that I've acquired since I started sport running. They still look so new, and they have so much mileage on them. I take them to the road, I'll still come back feeling comfortable and all that. So yes, one thing that I can say sport run is good for, it's saving on your shoes, because then it's more like you do.
I think even saving on the clothes, because if you're at the comfort of your home, you can run with anything.
That's true. Some people, because I'll be on the camera, I'll dress up. Some people, I want to believe that they do it without
Naked, that's where I'm going.
you can't judge them because
Yeah.
you can't see them. So
Yeah.
that's the goodness about it, to say you do it from the comfort of your home. Security wise, especially for the sisters, nobody will be chasing you along as you're running. You will still be having your watches, all your belongings belongs to you. Unlike when you're on the road, anything can happen. We have heard many stories.
I mean, it's summer. We are in the middle of summer. It's hot. You know, sometimes if you can't manage, if you miss your morning run, and during the day, in the evening, it's still hot.
Yeah.
So, would you recommend people to try sport run during these times of the year?
Yeah, I will recommend sport run anytime, any day, because for the ultra runners, we know weather can change anytime, and we can't say now because it's raining, let me stop running and all that. That's sometimes I will sport run in the rain, just wanting to. Just
Or
to
to
feel,
vary the condition a little bit.
yes,
I
yes.
understand.
But to answer you, yes, you can. To avoid this heat, you can just sport run under the shade. You will still be
Under the
sweating.
tree.
Yeah, you will still be sweating. Trust
Yeah.
me, you will still be sweating like you have been on the road. Sometimes you even sweat more than when you are on the road, because then you tend to relax and own the space. Unlike when you're on the road, you get worried about what are people saying when I pass. Am I even doing it right? And but when you're on the spot, it's just you and yourself. You're competing with yourself, and you give your all.
Fitness wise, I've looked at you doing your sport run. The posture and the way you lifting your legs is not the same as when you pounding the pavement out there. So I just want to understand from your experience, of obviously, does it give you the same workout as running on the road?
So with me, I run the same. If you see my posture on the road, the same, because then you don't want to confuse the body. What I have tend to realize now is I am more faster on the road than before. So fitness wise, it's very good. So a 6 minutes per kilo pace on the spot, when I apply the same, looking at the same heart rate, same speed, on the road I'll be doing around 520 or
Really?
even less than that. Yeah, something which previously I will hardly achieve those times on the road. And even the breathing, it's quite relaxed, changed.
Wow, interesting. Very interesting. I never thought of, because let me give an example. Okay, but before we get there, when I saw you on a couple of the races where you do your sport run and people are out there running.
Yeah.
don't you get any FOMO?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Or you leveraging on the fact that you can even see number one coming,
Look,
all the runners coming.
That's the most magical thing to say.
Yeah.
When I'm doing it at the races, then you tend to see everything that's happening coming, the winners coming through, the last guys coming through, and I tend to enjoy that most. And with me, it's more about people while they are waiting for the runners to return. Most of the time, they're doing nothing. But when I'm sport running there, at least they can catch a glimpse of what's happening. They too can do it to say, oh, maybe with these races, we don't need to be too hard on ourselves. One can plan to do a sport run while still at work, and you still have achieved the same fitness that you wanted to achieve on the day.
Wow, can we call this green running? Because in everything we're going green.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should try and
No, we should.
put green inside there. Because I mean, if I can run at the comfort of my house, whether I'm on the sitting room, whether I'm in the bathroom, whether I'm outside on the lawn, or even at home under a shade of tree.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's more of green running.
That's true. I haven't thought of it that way, but now you are bringing in another angle whereby one can do a promotion of promoting this green running, all sort of things. There's no littering. Road runners, the organizing committees, you don't need to pay traffic officers and all that. So I'm planning to do bigger events, just sport running indoors. And obviously I want to bring in different elements to it, because if you notice, I always do it with music at the background. Without music, I struggle, because then it's the battle of the mind, keeping up the pace and all that. But with music, it's easy. So I would love to do it in a bigger venue and having a live artist performing while we're running.
Oh, just
So-
like aerobics does. Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I want to bring in.
Wow.
That's what I want to bring in.
And just to sidetrack a little bit, ne? Because I want to do this barefoot running. Ne? I want to practice barefoot running. But when I look at the terrain on the road, you know, my heart, my heart skip beats when I think about stepping on the terrain.
Yeah.
But I think with a sport run, I think I'm going to try it these holidays, just to see sport running barefoot and how it can benefit me in that department.
No, you must try it. One thing, like I said, I can't barefoot for more than 10 minutes. My shins becomes painful.
Yeah.
But when you're wearing a running shoe, it's easy to sport run.
And when you did your comrades virtual run on sport, when you did it on your sport run, you are 103 or 200. How do you then address the hydration, the nutrition?
It's easy. Just put a table next to me with anything that I want. So if it's a bottle of water, the comrades one was too long, so my family was around to say, hey, can you get me maheu? So it's easy to, when people are around,
To order them.
yeah, it's easy to order them.
So they
but
support you, they just go there, come back.
So your support station, you can just put a table next to you. That's your support station with everything that you need.
Wow. Yeah, you know, I think anything is possible.
Yeah, it is.
That was a very important innovation that you have started.
Yeah.
Because I never thought, I've never imagined myself being on the spot running.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when we do our comrades and everything, we do walk, run.
Yeah.
How do you do your walk, run then? Or are you afraid to do your walk running, or you just run right through?
No, I do walk at some point, especially when I'm doing the longer sessions. I will say I will run the first 50 to 60 kilometers non-stop, and then from there I will do something crazy whereby I'll be like, okay, now after every 10 kilometers I'll take a nap for like 10 to 20 minutes, and I will literally take a nap on the spot, wake up, do another 10 Ks, and when you look at the intervals, you will see that I even gain more
because of
energy
your
to
rest.
go.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's what I'm intending to do with my washi. I want to see if I can do it in that fashion, whereby at some point I'll be sleeping for those 10 to 15 and then continue with it. So I will still train towards to achieve that throughout the night.
And what races have you done on the spot?
On the spot, I've done the TNU, which is 50Ks,
Oh, you did it last year's TNU?
both versions.
Oh,
from
so
the
I didn't
first
feel
one.
the Impala when you know Impala, that Impala
No,
hill.
I was not on the road.
Yeah, I'm just saying you didn't feel Impala.
No, but I felt the same pain.
Okay, and yeah, you did.
So I did that. I did Wali. Wali, I've done both of them on the spot. I've done the one, I think it's not MediHelp. There's a race that they allowed me to do sport run because I try to speak to different race organizers. Some of them will allow you, some of them, because of not understanding what you want to bring in, they will still say no, which I accept that. But it's more about I need to speak to a lot of these organizers and how it will benefit them, because sport run can benefit anyone, can really benefit anyone.
And when you ran those races, do they acknowledge your time as official time or not?
No, I don't even want them to. I think there's one race that they acknowledge and they even give me a medal after running. That was in Mpumalanga Marathon. And others, I don't even want them to put that time in because of it's a different event within their running event. So I'll try and say maybe at some point ASA might recognize it, and ultimately it might become
A world
sport
thing, yeah.
at the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching walking during the Olympics, and it was quite interesting how strict they are in terms of how you must walk. If you lift your foot, then they penalize you and all that. And then I looked at it and say, sport run can also become part of the event.
And I think definitely it if we push it, it will become part of the.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's copyrights or there's ownership to that to these kind of things, because you've invented it. I think you must run with it. You need to approach your provincial athletics South Africa and even the world to say I've started this thing.
Yeah.
How about we make it part of, because we've got 4 years to Olympics or 3.5 years to Olympics, and they can adopt it if it gets the attention that it deserves.
That's true. So I will try by all means to get it to the top. If it has to go to the Minister of Arts and Culture, where sport is also included, I will take it to him. I know he pushes things so much. But Sport Run, I did register it as a company. It's trademarked. So I do have some rights
nice
with
one.
regards to it. So it's in place. So yeah, we can take it far.
Yeah, I know it will be nice to have something coming from our country, and we will be proud of it.
Yeah, no.
And I think just to throw in another 2 cents worth is that, I mean, let's say we go on a race, usually we get hosted at a sports ground or at a stadium.
Yeah.
And I think at a stadium you can, on the field itself, if you do sport running, how many runners can you line them up there?
Yeah.
I
It's
think
a
even
lot.
2,000 you can line them on a soccer field.
It's a lot, but coming back to the green running and stuff, you don't want to kill the surface, because if you do it for too long in
exposure,
the grass, you will really damage the grass. So one will look into, if that is happening, can't we put something on
Artificial or
and
cover,
then that can easily happen.
Wow. And then you are a road runner.
Yes.
You are a sport runner.
Yeah.
Like, how long have you been sport running? 4 years now.
Yes,
We're
now
going
it's
for
4 years.
5.
We're going for 5. Yeah.
And now, would you say sport running or road running?
Sport running anytime. So, but I like I said, I have certain races that I do on the road, training on the sport, and when I go out there, I just enjoy them. No fight, no pain, nothing. So I will really recommend many people to put more time on the sport, because the recovery is quicker. And the challenge that
It's not that much of an impact
No.
sport than
not at all. Like
Okay.
from tomorrow until the 31st of December, I'll be running 50Ks every day.
Sport.
Yes, but to do it on the road, the body
No,
will get
no,
a
no, I
beating.
can't, I
Yeah,
can't.
but on the spot, I know I can do it.
Have you done? Okay, what was the longest distance you've done back to back?
It was 50 for 8 days. So
Oh, so
yeah,
you've
I've done it before.
Yeah,
So,
no.
but yeah, I'm just adding the 3 more days to do 550Ks in 11 days.
So now even sport runners are crazy. Yeah,
No,
I
they
thought it's
are.
only the road
No,
runners.
no. I mean, yesterday I was talking to one lady. She started with sport run. She lost so much weight. Now she even joined a running club. But then she was like, quite interesting. I run better than many people who have been running on the road from my club, and they look so unfit. So then I was like, yeah, people run for different reasons, but I know most of road runners are not disciplined when it comes to keeping our bodies in shape, but we do enjoy what we do. So that's the thing to say. With sport running, there's a lot that one can achieve. There's a lot that one can achieve.
And how many runners have you managed to rope into sport running that you know of locally?
No, it's I always encourage, especially those who will be like, I'm injured. Then I will be like, no, it's fine.
I know
You can-
Bubbles. She did sport running. She was injured. I told her not to run, but she instead did sport runs
Same here.
during
I told her not to run, and then she was like, but I was like, if you can do sport running, then sport running you can do, because I know for recovery you will recover quicker.
And
than-
she's even running the road now.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
back on she's back on the road. But like I said, many road runners, they don't want to do sport running. It's to them, they can't do it. Even the most elite guys, they tell you it's difficult. Then I ask myself, no wonder why most of my clients are people who never ran before.
Oh, yeah.
But they love it so much.
Yeah,
In fact, most of the sport runners, I encourage them to do time-based runs, not kilometers.
Or they run time, not distance.
Yes, so
yeah.
if we're running 30 minutes, whatever kilometers you can do, then it just talks about how fit you are and all that, and they tend to enjoy it like that. But if you are to say, let's go run a 10 kilometer on the road, many will say no. But if you are to say, let's run let's run for 2 hours on the spot, they will easily do it.
Sure, I can't imagine 2 hours on the spot. But anyway, let's just flip a coin a little bit. Tell us about your road running journey.
I started 2015. 2005. I registered Comrade, and then am I right? We are on 2022. It can't be 2005.
We are 2024. We go in 25
Yeah,
next year.
that was 2015.
Or 2015.
Yes, 2015. I registered Comrade. I didn't train for it. I ran one race to qualify, which was Wali. I entered that when that's when the qualifying times were still 5 hours.
Yeah.
I entered 4 hours 59. I think I was the last guy to
Cross
qualify.
the line. Yeah.
I went to Comrade. I ran until halfway. Then I was like, I can't take this anymore. So I have a very big DNF.
Yeah.
Because it was my first big race.
You did what a novice will do. A
Seeing
mistake.
so much food on the road, so I was eating almost every station
And drinking, yeah.
drinking. But then the cramps were just all over us. But then I couldn't take it. 2016, I said I'm not doing it. I'm not even running because I've never felt so much pain. So in 2017, I got a coach, get back into running. I completed my first Comrade. 18, I did back-to-back, and I ran my best time, 10:36. And I wasn't, the thing about me, I don't take running too serious. Because if I do, I'm definitely sure I can run a sub-9 Comrade. That I can do. But I don't give it much focus. So road runnings, yes, I enjoyed them. Hence, this year, I did a sport run at the Expo on Friday, and I ran the Comrade on Sunday, and I was fine.
What was your distance on the sport run?
86 kilometers.
On Friday?
Yes.
Sunday you did the actual Comrades?
Yes.
And what was your time?
I ran 11:21 or so, something.
On the spot or on the?
No, on the spot I did 9 hours 30 or so, and on the road I did 11 something. But yeah, to me, I just wanted to finish it because we had to rearrange things with the sport medical services. When we were planning for it initially, it was a 10:30 time planned. But when I told them that I would be doing sport run, then they were like, okay, 10:30 out, just go for a finish because
Yeah.
your body will still be under shock from the expo run.
But you know, with sport running, one thing I've seen, I've observed, is that there's too much disturbance, interference from people, because people, we want to talk to you,
Yeah.
we want to
I
have a
enjoy it.
conversation with you, but doesn't that distract you in
No,
the mission?
not at all. In fact, that's what keeps me going, to say, oh, there's somebody who's focusing on what I'm doing, and I must give this person attention when they are asking and all those things. And I can tell you, sport running have helped me personally to be patient. Even when I'm driving nowadays, I can go at 60 kilometers for more than an hour or two. I know I will arrive where I'm going and all that. So it have just helped me to deal with certain aspect of life, which I appreciate it. So there's a lot that one learns through sport running. And as you're saying, there's no distraction when people are talking. No, they just keep you going.
I was under the impression that they are distracting you, but anyway, I've learned something again. And then road running, and when you do your ultras, you must do a lot of strength training, obviously, for the downs and the ups and the cramps.
Yeah.
Don't you get any cramps on your sport runs, or do you need any strength training?
Not at all. Strength training I do on the spot. How do I do that? I reduce my pace like crazy. You will find me running at 8 minutes per kilo pace, which is like very slow.
Yeah.
And it just deals with me mentally because I know I'm not that patient. So it helps me when I'm running on the road. When I hit a hill, I know anything I can do within 8 minutes. The body's used to it. I can do it because when I'm training, you will find me telling the guys that today we are doing a long hour training, 2 hours at this pace, and there's no hill that is more than 2 hours.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it just helps me to deal with all these downs and the ups, also the undulating and the flat surfaces. So for me, when I see them on the road, they don't even ring a bell to say, hey, this is difficult. They don't.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so blown away by this whole concept. I'm still trying to get my mind around it. But then when you do your strength training, what areas do you target? Because I mean, you don't get that much, or your body doesn't experience that impact that you experience on the road.
So I'll focus more on my hamstrings, my quads, and my calves. So when I'm doing that, I know the moment I do that, to go from that slow pace to high pace, I will feel that the body now it's on a different mode. But I also use the type of food that I'll be eating during the races. So like I am sponsored by Nutrate, whom they force particular products just for long distance running, which is like your S3. S3 is for your endurance. Your Breathe Easy, it's just for your lungs to help you lower your heart rate. Your Complete Repair meal, which you can eat before, during, and after, as well as your Vortex. Vortex replenishes your electrolytes.
Oh, yeah.
So those type of foods, for me, it's superfood. I call them superfood because when I'm taking them, I know that nothing will go wrong on my run.
Oh, nice one. And what is the best time or the best pace you've run on the spot?
Okay, I think my best was 3:36 marathon on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that was my best. That was when I was at my peak. So I still want to go back to those days.
So you did somewhat sea seeding.
Yeah, on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then going back to your road running. So, like at the moment, how much would you say of, like percentage wise, of your time do you spend on the road and that you spend on the spot?
1% on the road, 99 on the spot, because I will run a qualifier and then comrade marathon. Those will be mostly the ones that I do on the road. Maybe 1 or 2 club runs whereby I don't run for longer. So yeah, those are the ones that I will just go and be with the club, my club members and all that, just be with people on the road.
I understand the qualifier and the comrade,
Yeah.
but we do a long, that 60, 70 kilometer long
Nah,
run. So you don't do it, you do it on the spot as
No,
well.
I do my long runs on the spot. I mean, this year I attempted to do the Faraket. I think I did a 42. I was happy with it because it was just okay. How is the body behaving on the road? It was quite fun. It was really nice.
Oh, so you joined the Farakes a long run?
Yeah, I did.
I think I saw them running on, it was a Saturday, I think.
Yeah, it was on a Saturday.
Yeah,
It was on a Saturday.
I drove past them
Yeah,
on
so
that particular day. Yeah.
But honestly, I spend more time on the spot than the road. I spend more time
Wow.
on the spot than the road.
Yeah, no. We learn every day.
Yeah.
And I must say, I'm blown. I'm fascinated by this whole concept.
No, I mean,
yeah.
for those who really want to try it, I can assist them. Especially those who have run the comrades before, I can assist them to prepare for comrade through the sport, just for them to feel the difference that it
And
makes when
just
the
to
body
interview,
is
I know a lot
relaxed.
of people that can benefit from that.
No,
yeah.
no, bring them here.
Yeah.
Let's do a boot camp, something nice, and then they will thank us later.
And on the group that you are coaching on your sport run, how many people are you coaching? Or how many do you have?
It's a lot. I can't give you in
Oh, you don't have a
will,
group?
I will go live on
Yeah.
TikTok. I'll be running with more than 50 people at the same time, and so many people will be requesting to come live on the screen. So it's first come, first serve. But I have 2 who started by weight loss, and they've completed the Comrades Marathon already. 2 of them.
They started
They
on
never
sport
ran
run?
before.
Yeah.
They just started with sport running. When they feel like they have lost enough weight, then they registered for Comrade and they ran the Comrade. The third one qualified last week in Boland somewhere. She just sent me a message to say she moved from park run to sport run now to qualify for Comrades Marathon. She said I will see her next year at the Comrades.
Wow. And your audience, I know you've mentioned the ones in the UK.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
Sport for Ubuntu.
Sports for Ubuntu.
Yeah.
And in South Africa, do you know the footprints as to, I've got all the 9 provinces, or you still maybe in the big metros?
No, I'm mostly in the big metros, but I know wherever I go, there will be somebody who will be calling out my name, and they'll be like, "Hey, Sport Run," and I'm like, "Okay, this is probably somebody who follows me in TikTok and all that." But we want to try and be in all 9 provinces, and trying to find a very good partner. I believe so much in partnership, who have footprints in all these provinces. So I want to try and see what can we do. There's few companies that have requested me to do some proposals to see if they can come on board. So there's a lot of opportunities that are out there. Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, I'm defeated. If you say 90, is it 90 to 99?
99%. I mean,
on the spot, so that means
I mean,
sport run is your life.
yeah, I mean 2022, the first Comrades after COVID, the one that I said I wanted to run for 11:59, that one I only ran 1:42 at run zone to qualify, and then the Comrades. This were the whole year. Those were the 2 road running that I did. but I still managed to finish the comrades, and I was laughing, smiling with people throughout the road, taking videos, taking pictures, which is what I enjoy most when I'm running these big marathons.
And this year, how did you fare? Like which ones did you do and comrades? In terms of a marathon, a qualifier, and a
No, it was again run zone to qualify, and then that was it. Yeah, and that Faraket, that was it. So it was more like a 42 and a 42 and the comrades on the road.
nice one. And tell us about the. So you've got the challenge that will be taking taking the 50 kilometer every day for the
11
next
days,
for 11 days.
Yeah.
And anything outside that you've I know you've mentioned 103, you've mentioned 200.
Yeah.
Is there anything else, or that's
No, this is just to finish the year. I still need to conclude my calendar for 2025. So there's some quite big surprises that I want to throw in, and I also want to do the trail running next year, these longest ones, the 100-mile trails and stuff. So next year I will switch to that too.
So are you saving divorce papers with the road running, and you going
Not
a
really.
trail?
I love road running. I will never dish road running.
Yeah.
It's just I want to try new things.
Yeah.
I think in life sometimes you just need to accept that certain things you have done, it's enough, and try new things.
Any plans to get your green number at comrades?
Not at the moment. As far as I'm concerned, I've done enough to do the comrades. I'm not interested in getting the green number.
So you are done with
I'm
comrades?
done. Currently I'm aiming at doing the international marathons on the spot. So I will register like any normal person, but when I get there, I want to do them on the spot.
The world majors?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done any one of the majors?
Not yet.
And what's the upcoming one that you've already secured your entry?
The London one slipped. I had the London one, and when we were doing some registration,
The
something
ballot,
didn't happen on time. But I will love to do. Okay, I don't want to do I will love to do maybe the one in Sydney, which I think is going to be a new one. So I will aim for that one. Let me aim for that one.
No, nice one, man. I think we can go on and on about this thing. I think people will let us know what questions they have,
Yeah.
and I think maybe as well put on our description. Just put your TikTok
My
live
handles.
page, your handle, so
Yeah.
that people can join in, because I know there will be people who are definitely going to be interested.
No.
Yeah.
They can, even from tomorrow, I'll be live throughout, so they can watch how the 50K per day is happening. I'm planning to do a 25 in the morning, a 25 in the evening, or if the body is very good, I will just do full 50 at a go. So, yeah.
And your running times?
Usually I like to start early in the morning, around 5-ish. So 7 p.m. it's standard. We have been doing the 7 p.m. a lot, because it's 12 at the States. So I do have some clients in America, around the New York. So they start at 12 noon their side.
Oh, nice one. I think that one, I'm going to give it my deep thoughts. Yeah.
No, you're most welcome. You're most
Yeah.
welcome.
But yeah, you are. I think you've started something that is very good, challenging, but yet very interesting. That I think a lot of runners and non-runners will be interested in and will be willing to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true, and there will be a lot of sportswear coming out next year. Sport running. I'm busy designing my own shoe. Sport run. It's not going to be a sport run shoe, because it will be made also for the
road
road,
running, yeah.
and obviously with the tights, sports bras, and everything else. So people must watch out for those. They are coming.
Nice one. And yeah, thank you for coming to talk to us, and we really appreciate your time, because you know, yesterday when I spoke to you and you told me you are in Eastern Cape somewhere. I was worried to say, will this man make it
No,
on time? Because
knew,
it's holiday time,
you know, like I said, sport running helped me to plan things and all
Yeah.
that. So, and my yes is a yes. If I said I'm coming, I will come. So I
Yeah.
knew I'll be back on time. And yeah, thanks to you for the invite.
Yeah. And to you at home, we say thank you for watching. I hope you are like I'm blown, like my mind is blown. I hope you also had the same experience with the sport runner. And we say to you, if you want to follow him, look at the description below. His handles are on the description, and if you've got any questions, I think he will be willing to answer them. And yeah, if you want to take him head on, please do so. Challenge him, and yeah, and I think I'm also going to challenge some of his or join in some of his spot runs. And we love what we do. We do what we love. We say to you, thank you, Danko.